I think the big thing we're going to talk about here is how that is going to factor into things like the COVID-19 and flu vaccine, right? So for us to create a vaccine, we need to study not only the disease process, right? What does the disease do, but how do people respond to the disease and how can we prevent it from killing people essentially at the end of the day, right? That's what we worry about is we want to make sure that we reduce the amount of deaths from any disease process. That's our ultimate goal, right? And so respiratory viruses are one of the most common things that we deal with on a day-to-day basis when it comes to illnesses, right? So things like COVID-19 and the flu are just basically viruses that cause respiratory symptoms. Now, they can be very mild. Some people may not even know they have it. And it could be very extreme to the point where people die from it. And I'm sure we all were witness to what COVID-19 did to our communities, right? And respiratory syncytial virus, which usually affects infants and kids mostly, is another one of those viruses that could be very dangerous. And so these vaccines help us. By a quick show, well, just in general, how often do you think you should receive the COVID-19 vaccine? Today.
Once a year, like to do the flu.
Yeah. So if you look back, we were getting these vaccines pretty often at first, but now it's become as common as the flu. So it's recommended that you get the vaccine annually, just like you do with the flu vaccine, right? And so that is the current recommendation. So just brief overview for everyone. So COVID-19 is just a name that we use to describe this specific virus. So coronavirus is a kind of a family of viruses, and COVID-19 is just that specific virus that happened to be named during that 2019 phase. SARS-CoV-2 virus, very similar to some of the other viruses that may have existed. Coronavirus is actually very common in the common cold, right? There's other types of coronaviruses that can cause what we often call the common cold. And the thing about coronaviruses is they're very contagious, right? And so that's why all of these recommendations were made when COVID-19 came out about wearing the masks and being 6 feet away. How did we come up with that information? Where do you guys think the mask or the 6